Apple held its annual WWDC event just today, and they announced a whole load of new things about iOS, Mac OS, tvOS, and watchOS. But in this video, I'm going to focus on Mac OS, and I'm going to be saying my top 5 new features from Mac OS that I'm looking forward to. So number 1 is dark mode. So this was actually leaked beforehand, but obviously it wasn't confirmed, but now it's confirmed. And I'm really looking forward to use a dark finder and a dark Safari other than just the dark status bar and dock. And the rest of the stuff is stuff that we didn't know about. So number 2 is desktop stacks, and this looks really good. So what desktop stacks do is that they group all the files on your desktop based on a certain category. And then kind of like what you can do with the folders in the dock, you can click on them to expand them and it shows everything underneath them, and you click them again to bring them back into a stack. And you can also scroll on them to see all the files within them and drag that particular file out and into whatever app you want to use it with. This is great for saving space on your desktop. Even if you want to have lots of things on the desktop, it saves you having to make folders and that sort of stuff. And it's going to be great for me because I often take screenshots and video captures, and I usually have them on my desktop, and it's going to save that just being cluttered all over my desktop. And talking about video capture, number 3 is improved screenshots and screen recordings. So now when you press Command Shift and 4 to take a screenshot, it doesn't just give you the option to take a screenshot by dragging and selecting a certain area. At the bottom, it now shows you the option to do all of the screenshot things like capture full screen or capture part of a screen and that sort of stuff, but it also gives you the option to do a screen recording. And this saves the user having to go into QuickTime and do it all that way. They can just do it straight from the screenshot buttons. And then when you finish capturing, it brings it down to a little window in the bottom right where you can double click on it and modify it, or you can drag it onto a certain app if you want to use it with a certain app, or you can do whatever you want with it really. It's just a lot quicker than having to go through QuickTime, so it's something that I am definitely going to appreciate. And this is also how screenshots work too, by the way. It brings it down to the little window in the bottom right corner, you can double click on it, and it'll bring you into markup where you can write on it or rotate it and do that sort of stuff with it. And number 4 is apps. So there are lots of app related changes, with the main one being that there's a whole new redesigned App Store. The App Store looks a lot more similar to how it looks on iOS, and it's definitely a welcome change because it did look pretty dated in my opinion. And Apple is also bringing some other things from iOS. It's bringing stocks, news, voice memo, and home over to the Mac side. And it's actually doing this utilizing improvements to how apps can be brought over from iOS to macOS. Basically, it's going to be a lot easier for developers, so it's very likely that when this does come out to developers in 2019, that you're going to be seeing a lot more iOS apps move over to the Mac. And number 5 is privacy. So the Mac will now let you know when it wants to use the webcam and when it wants to use the microphone, and it will let you know when it wants to use a whole lot of other things too. And Safari will further try and stop tracking across multiple websites by companies like Facebook, by showing a dialog box saying allow or disallow, to Facebook being able to basically track you when it has stuff on their websites like their comments or the like button and that sort of stuff. Through that, Facebook is actually able to track you, so they're going to try and stop letting Facebook do that. And also through Safari, they're going to stop identifiable data being pushed through Safari to websites. So it's going to be harder for data companies to be able to distinguish individual Macs and know personal data about you through Safari. And for bonus number 6, there were some minor Finder additions. One of them I find really handy, and one of them is kind of a return of an old feature. So the first feature is a feature that I'm actually really happy about, and that's full metadata for your files within Finder. So usually, if I want to see certain things about a video, I have to go into QuickTime and then look at the metadata from there, so it's going to save me having to go into QuickTime. And it's going to be useful for a whole lot of other things like pictures and audio files and that sort of stuff. And the second feature is Carousel kind of making a return, but in a more modern look. They call it Gallery now, and it basically does what Carousel used to do. It shows big previews of pictures and has a whole lot of pictures underneath. It's kind of like when you're in Photos on the iPhone. It's that sort of look. And yep, that's it. Those are my top 5, or I guess top 6 new features in macOS. If you like this video and you want to see more tech stuff in the future, be sure to subscribe to this channel and comment down below what your favourite thing from WWDC 2018 is. I'd love to hear what your favourite things were from it. So I hope you all have a great day. I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Bye.